Welcome. My name is Audrey Shailendra Chigariro. Today I have Chiwoniso Rutsito. Chiwoniso is the national chair at the Women Desk at Zimbabwe Musicians Union. Hi, Chiwoniso.
Hi, Audrey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Today I have a couple of questions that I want to ask her pertaining the education in Zimbabwe. My first question for you, Chiwoniso, is that do you think that education in schools is important, and why would you say so?
I think so, because basically there are things that you need to learn that you can't learn at home, that your parents cannot teach you, like counting, interacting with the community, people from different backgrounds. You also need to learn, to dream more, to make your dreams come bigger, wider, greater.
Okay, that's good. How would you describe the current education system in Zimbabwe schools?
We seem to be getting there, but it's been difficult because we've had the new curriculum.
Yes.
And now we have the colors, I don't know what the abbreviation stands for.
Yeah.
But then children are learning more, like in terms of religion, culture, and also in terms of human rights. It's encompassing, and music is now being put in schools as well.
Okay, that's nice. Well, another question for you.
Okay, let's go
what are the most important current challenges in the education system?
I think we can talk about data, or should I, online internet.
Yes, I understand, because of the COVID situation.
Not COVID situation only, but if children are learning ICT, right, they need access to the gadgets. The parents need to be able to provide them with the internet as well.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. We go further. Do you think that an equitable and inclusive education is guaranteed in Zimbabwe, and why would you say so?
It is, in terms of if government was committed, if all stakeholders were committed, right? Because I think in the 80s, 90s, right, at the school that I went to, we used to incorporate PWDs there. Like we used to have students that did sign, that read Braille. But then there's that issue where we segregate. Have a school there specifically for the people living with disabilities. So now then having to incorporate them together with the rest of the able-bodied people is difficult, because now I come across a person who's signing and I do not understand sign language. So I think we need to encompass all and everything.
Okay, I understand. Do you think that the Zimbabwean government is giving enough support to the education in schools?
It's yes and no, because yes, they have come up with a new syllabus, new everything. They're training teachers yearly, but then we have an exodus of the teachers because of the salary, the monetary values. And some are born teachers, they won't leave because that's all that they know to do, and then some, they still need to feed their families as well.
Okay. What are the main troubles in, like, that was the question I asked you before. What could be done to improve the education in Zimbabwe?
I think it's a matter of implementation, or should I say, different places call for different things. It shouldn't. There's no one size fits all. You do understand, because it also depends on the background, or should I say the community background.
Okay.
The things that can improve them or not improve them. Like they've got PE as well in their curriculum now, right? So it depends now. Does that community also value the physical education? Does it have any meaning to me? We need to be able to relate to the things that the children are learning. Because now at my age, I remember people ask me, what's the value of knowing about Mao Zedong in Chinese history?
Okay, now the juicy one. Is music education important?
It is very important. music is more than just storytelling. It's also important in that it helps to retain our heritage, right? Because right now, people used to frown so much on music, right? We have lost a lot of knowledge that we could be having as Africans, as Zimbabweans. I only got to learn of the mbira that is from my homeland at this age, and I'm turning 40, imagine, right? So now I actually have to save enough to buy it, so that my children will get to know that there's a mbira called matepe from Muto.
Okay, I get you there. Any efforts from the government ministries to improve the music education?
I think they've made an effort because we actually have a VPA book, where they're teaching the children music. But I wish they could Africanize it, not teach us European or Western style of music, but things that relate to us, that tell our story our way.
Okay. Yeah, true. So, do you have awareness or outreach music education programs?
This coming year, 2022, we're working on something. Hopefully COVID won't stand in the way, because it has put a lot of things on hold in between 2020 and 2021. It's been difficult, but hopefully 2022 will be better, and we'll be able to do like school outreaches and exchange programs.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. How do you see music education in the next 5 to 10 years to come?
I think music has taken over, because now my daughters, they're actually better musicians than me. I can see them and I'm jealous. And they already want to be on stage. I'm the one who's just like, no, hold on.
Okay, nice. On national annual country budget, do you set aside budget for cultural exchange programs?
I'm hoping it gets better. I remember going to the national budget consultation, and I did ask or say something towards provisions for the arts, especially musicians, because we're the ambassadors of this country. We tell the story. Like, if you want to know about Zimbabwe, you get to know about the artists first. Because we, in the videos and whatever, we're telling a Zimbabwean story.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. So, do you have music documentation programs?
We're working on it. Like, in terms of the music industry in Zimbabwe, I think we're like 10 years behind from everybody else in the world. We're trying to put a certain order into things.